All right, all right. Let's see here. Now I want everybody to tell me if. Let me see something. All right. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting something ready real quick. As soon as I find it. All right, all right. I think we live. I think we live. Just let me check one more thing, y'all. Because I got something to show y'all. Let's see. All right. Is this it? Yes. One more, one more. Nah, but we'll forward it. Let me see. Same one below. All right, all right, all right. Hold on, hold on. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? Let me know if. Let me just double check and see if everybody can hear me. Let's see. Oh man, that's some gnarly music, dude. All right, y'all. What's up? What's all right, all right. Okay, everything's good. Got to run things on my own today. Mr. Producer got the day off. So what's up, y'all? It's Jack Bravo at the Righteous Edge. It's a couple things I want to run through today, and one of the main ones is I love to respond to people's comments. I am one of those people that don't run from anybody, big or small. So whenever I see a comment, I got to leave a comment where somebody left a comment at because they thought I wasn't gonna see that. I wasn't gonna say nothing, so I gotta respond to it. So let's just watch the video in question and see if I said something unbiblical. And I want to respond from a discussion about the Bible and a critique with the Bible with scripture. So look at scripture in light of scripture, okay? A lot of people want to throw a critique out and then they throw a Bible verse out and then nobody challenges that. So let's look and watch the video of what one of the people who, it was a short of mine that my producer made. And I mean, you could watch the full video, which was a live, to get it in full context. But even with the short that my producer made, I still think I'm right. Let's just watch it. Let me watch. All right, let's see here. Religions. All right, let me rewind. They love your neighbor culture. Part of the thing is that we're going too far on is Christians are so kind that we kind of get ran over by other religions. And we don't have any self-respect where we demand respect. Well, that's about to change now because of the climate is changing. They love your... So, all right. I said that there are too many Christians out there. Basically, my whole gist and my whole philosophy, just to give you guys more in depth, is that Christians have become soft. Let's just put it right out there. Christians are now soft. And I'm not talking about soft because we're kind. I'm not talking about soft because we're turning the other cheek. I'm not talking about soft because we're loving our enemies. I'm talking about soft because of fear. And that's a totally different type of soft. People may have the wrong impression of you because you may not return evil for evil. You may not curse them out. You may not insult them like they insult you. That's very true, and that's very Christian-like of you. But there's too many Christians today who they don't say anything back, not because they're trying to be godly, it's because they have too much fear. And that's a difference, and a person like me can see it in your eyes. If you're not acting out of a self-control, a godliness, the fruits of the Spirit, I can tell when somebody is acting out of fear and then they claim, I'm just turning the other cheek. No, you're not turning the other cheek. You're tucking your tail and running away from a fight. That's what you're doing. You're not acting godly. Jesus Christ wasn't scared. So anyways, let's see what someone has said. So, Mr. Evil Steve says, this is not the way and not in line with our Lord's teachings. Mr. Mustache Man Evil Steve said that. All right, so my wife responds, who is my biggest fan, by the way. What part? And he responds to her, Matthew 22. I hate when people do this. When they just barrage you with a bunch of scriptures without giving the context or anything or not explaining their thought, just hoping that you don't read them. Matthew 22, 39, Matthew 12, 31, Luke 10, 27. It's not a quote unquote culture, it is gospel. It is as our Lord Jesus Christ has taught us. He has commanded us to love our neighbor. Demanding respect is pride. What? What? You can't demand respect in your own household? You can't demand the respect with your wife, even though the Bible commands her to. You can't hold her up to the biblical standards that God set for her in Ephesians chapter 5. You can't do that, sir. You can't demand respect from your children when the Bible says one of the commandments in Exodus was, children, honor your mother and father. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, where this is the first commandment with promise that you may live well on the earth. You can't hold people accountable to that and say, you need to respect me because God said to respect? You really telling me you as a Christian walk around in the world and if somebody spits in your face, not hurting you in any way, they're just spitting in your face, it's just a little water, ain't it? Just a little saliva. You're just supposed to be like, well, I guess respect is just not for me as a Christian. That's how you go through the world. No wonder you don't get any respect. No wonder. You think respect is just something that I don't even know that you should, as a man, you shouldn't require. You definitely require respect. And I'm going to show you not a bunch of barrage of Bible verses with no context like you threw here, but I'm going to show you one of the biggest Bible verses that shows a man of God should demand respect. But let's read the rest of what you said. All right. This false humility that Western Christians have is not the bold gospel Paul proclaimed. What? That's not true. Paul said Alexander the Coppersmith did me much harm. He told people, listen, this dude disrespected me. Go and show him none. Dust off your feet when you walk away from a place that did not accept the gospel. What? Where are you getting this? We don't have a right to have any respect from. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Or did we forget he demanded respect as a Roman? Or when, my fault, that's Michelle. That's Michelle. That's my wife, and she responded the right way. We as Christians are supposed to be humble. We're supposed to bear the cross as we follow him. This is where, you know why? This is why I lift weights. This is why I practice wrestling. This is why I box. And this is why I'm trying to get back in shape. And some of y'all won't understand what the context of any of those things I just said. As a man, if you are disrespected, there is a certain line where disrespect cannot be tolerated. You don't get to just come up and slap me, slap my wife in the butt. You don't get to just poke one of my kids in the eye. You don't get to just come up and spit in my face. We demand respect. Now, when people say, what about turn the other cheek? And the blessed are the peacemakers and all this stuff where they take out of context. The Bible says, do not return evil for evil, not to demand respect. I got to pay attention to messages because people might be messaging me that the sound is not right. It does not say don't demand respect. That means if somebody cusses you out, you don't have to return in kind and curse them out. You don't have to. So it doesn't, and because it will be evil for you to do so. It'd be evil for you to say, just because somebody slapped my daughter, I'm going to find their daughter and slap them. That has no bearing to somebody trying to do self-defense. It has no bearing other than I'm going to return evil for evil. I'm talking about demanding respect as a man. Each one of us demands respect because we're made in the image of God. I demand respect for unborn children. I demand it. It's something that the world is struggling with right now. They don't think you should have to. I demand it. And wherever I have control, in my house, in my church, I demand respect for me and the people around me. I'm not going to allow anybody to just come and disrespect them. And the examples that I gave, somebody slapping your girl's butt, right? You can say, well, that's sexual assault. It didn't hurt her. What if they just give her a light tap? A light tap on the bum. Did it kill her? Could she have walked away and ignored it? Yes, but it is such an utter disrespect that I will not allow a creature made in the image of God to adhere to that disrespect in my presence. I won't allow it. And so these weak Christians who want to come and correct me, I would love to have a conversation with one of them and face to face and say, oh, so you believe that if somebody disrespects you, you shouldn't be able to do anything back, right? Like you shouldn't take any action back. And at the moment they say yes, smack them right in the face. And then say, I promise I won't smack you again. That was the only smack I want to give you, so you don't have to worry about me hurting you any further, but I just want you to sit with that smack. I'm going to dig in my nose and rub it on their face. I'm not sick. There's no reason why you're not going to die. I'm just disrespecting you. You're going to allow it? As a man, you saying to me it's God's will. You sit there and allow that. Well, let's look how God deals with a godly man's disrespect. One of my favorite verses of all time, actually, because it shows how far and how weak Christian men have become, how much we've fallen from what God has, the standard God holds for us. 2 Kings 2:23 through 24. You think I'm going to go to some verse that just gives you a command? You shall respect men. No, I'm going to show you this and see what you get from it. 2 Kings 2:23 through 24, reading the ESV. He went up there from there to Bethel. And while he was going up on his way, some small boys came out of the city and jeered at him, saying, "Go up, you bald head! Go up, you bald head!" And he turned around, and when they saw him, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Let's just stop right there. Who are we talking about here? Let's go back to the first chapter. The full chapter. We're talking about Elijah. So if you read the chapter in the full context, we're talking about Elijah. And then we get to verse 23, and we read what we just read. He's going up on his way, and a bunch of what? Were these grown men? Small boys. So we could look at them as teenagers, whatever, right? They could be anywhere from age 5 to age 18. Small boys came out of the city and they jeered at him. What does jeered mean? They were making fun of him. They weren't causing him physical harm. They made fun of a man of God knowing he was a man of God. Everybody knew he just came from the men of the city. Everybody knew he was a man of God. Actually, Elijah and Elijah were you could put them as famous at that time. And they said to him, made fun of him. They said, "Go up, bald head, go up, bald head." Now, I don't know how they roasted back in the day, but we know they was making fun of him. They could some people speculate that they were making fun of his the fact that he was a prophet. And so in verse 24, and he turned around, and when he saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. And 2 she-bears, I like how it specifies she, and 2 she-bears came out of the woods and tore 42 of the boys. And then he went to Mount Carmel, and there he returned to Samaria. They don't even get barely a half of a verse. The bears ripped the kids apart for disrespecting him. He, as a man of God, demanded respect. Show me how I'm wrong. Uh-oh, I did something with my hands, and now my camera's acting goofy. Show me how I'm wrong. He demanded respect. All they did was make fun of him. You could say all they did, but the reality is it wasn't that small of a deal to God. Now, was it? Because God said, "You will not disrespect the man of God." And I say, Christian men need to demand respect. Stop playing around. Stop being soft. Demand respect. Don't go anywhere where somebody's just going to make fun of you, talk about your family and say all these hurtful things. And no, man, you don't have to stand there and take disrespect. Now, I'm not saying go and just take a pew pew and pew pew everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying you don't have to stand somewhere and just take disrespect just because you're a Christian. You can walk away. And if somebody refuses for you to walk away, maybe it's time to do something to them. Yes, I'm saying that. If somebody does not let you walk away from a disrespectful situation, maybe it's time to lift up holy hands and pray for them. Maybe they're going to need some holy hand healing afterwards. Because I don't play that. Y'all can be weak Christians if you want. I'm not a weak, soft Christian. It's too much of that going on. I'm the other side of that. I'm the one with zeal. You can be soft on your own, not me. So anyways, let's get into today's topic. Oh, goodness. Already done got me riled up. Mr. Harry, Mr. Harry. Mr. Harry's going to tell us how we should be men today because he's the perfect example of masculinity, obviously. Let me go to my full screen so I can talk to these people. He's the perfect example of masculinity, obviously, right? He's a Democrat man, a Democrat boy with his boyish charm and his little zesty face. He is the perfect example of what a man should be. So he's going to tell us all what men should be. Let's see what little Harry has to say.
There's nothing manly about supporting Donald Trump. What's manly is taking your girlfriend to a really nice restaurant, as I'm doing right now, and also voting for her and everyone else to have basic human rights. There's nothing manly about supporting Donald Trump. What's manly is taking your girlfriend to a really nice restaurant, as I'm doing right now, and also voting for her and everyone else to have basic human rights.
Basic human rights. Okay. First question I got for Mr. Harry, who was caught in numerous scandals with other women. Which girlfriend you talking about? Which girlfriend are you faithful to now? What happened to the other ones, Harry? Such a conundrum. So Mr. Harry wants to tell us that being a real man is not voting for Donald Trump, but taking your girlfriend out to eat. Well, I got a lot of issues with him because he is one of the biggest hypocrites on this platform. He's one of the biggest hypocrites of all time. And we're going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. But Mr. Harry thought that that was a cool thing to do, to try to explain why. I want you guys to factor into some of the things. Some of the specifics of what he's saying.
There's nothing manly about supporting Donald Trump. What's manly is taking your girlfriend to a really nice restaurant, as I'm doing right now, and also voting for her and everyone else to have basic human rights.
So, and this is, you know what he's getting at here. Democrats are so evil that they believe you have a basic human right to pull a unborn child apart limb by limb, take it out its mother's uterus, and throw it in the garbage. That's what he believes a basic human right is. It used to be, if you went back 20 years, Democrats wouldn't fathom saying that abortion was a human right. They would say it's something that we require, just in case you have an unwanted pregnancy of somebody who got SA'd or some little kid who was messing around that shouldn't have been. But they would never fathom saying what he said. Now, according to him, taking your girlfriend out to eat and having an abortion is a basic human right, according to him. That's what they think. Well, this is the man that wants to teach you guys to be men. This guy right here. Hopefully I can play this sound.
Today, being retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school just like their neighbors and come back to a real home. A supervised home, right in the neighborhood, where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor. Today, being retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school just like their neighbors and come back to a real
Look, what
home.
is he doing? Somebody please explain to me what this man is doing. I think he's trying to get sturdy, which is a New York dance. He's trying. Let's just look at his movements. What is he doing? In the name of all that's sacred, what is he doing? Y'all need to see it close up. Let's see it.
Today, being retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school, just like their neighbors, and come back to a real home.
What was that?
A supervised home, right in the neighborhood, where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor.
Oh man, Harry. This caption says, if you had to guess, is Harry Sisson gay or retarded? Why can't you just be both? Why can't he be both? In a land of choice, right? That's what he wants to be. Let him be that. So let's read a little bit about Mr. Harry here. Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson, a prominent Gen Z Democrat influencer with millions of followers on TikTok, has faced widespread accusations of being inauthentic and hypocritical. Critics, primarily from conservative circles, point to financial ties, personal scandals, and inconsistencies in his public persona. Here are the top 3 most commonly cited issues based on public records, allegations, and media reports. Being a paid Democrat operative while denying it or presenting as a grassroots activist. Let me talk. That is a big one. This clown has tried to act as if he wasn't a paid operative. He went out there and acted like, I'm just a little kid who really likes Democrats and I think Joe Biden is swell. That's how he acted. Do y'all remember when he was acting like Joe Biden is the sharpest tool in the shed? Meanwhile, Joe Biden's brain is not even in the shed. Joe Biden was, you talk about retarded. Joe Biden was not even there in the room with us while Joe Biden was in the room with us. And they was trying to convince you up and down that this man was he's just the smartest guy on the planet. He didn't just poop his pants. He did that on purpose to show you guys that he's just like you. Everybody poops their pants nowadays. Everybody trips up the stairs nowadays. Now and again, you know, I tripped up the stairs yesterday because I was deep in thought. That's how the Democrats were doing. They just lied to you up and down. Being a paid Democrat operative, that's what he did. Let's look more deeply into this. From liberal PACs like Democrat Defense Action, formerly Media's Touch, and other social media consulting. His management firm, Palette Management, has been paid hundreds of thousands by the Democrat National Committee, the DNC. Despite this, Sisson has repeatedly claimed to be an independent voice or downplayed payments, leading to accusations of astroturfing and fake grassroots support, which is a really funny way of saying fake grassroots. He's not real grassroots. It was fake. He was bought. He was paid for. This was highlighted in interviews like the Tim Dillon Show, where he and collaborators were called out as paid shills, which they were. Even some left-leaning sources note that the payments, though they framed them as minor. They weren't minor. Every one of these kids in his little group, made millions off this. They made millions. They got paid. Look. You don't, and this is where people are so naive. You don't go from being a nobody to being on Pierce Morgan, to being on CNN, to speaking at these public events with thousands and thousands of people, to having the channel with thousands and thousands of followers out of nowhere. He was paid. They got him his followers. They selected him out of people with tryouts. They had people try out and say, you know what, who could best represent and reach the young men? Oh, this boy looks just gay enough for the Democrat Party. Let's select him. That's what they did. He's not talented. He has no skill. If anything, he's an actor. Now, I'm not saying he don't believe what he believes, because here's the thing. When you're so open-minded that your brain falls off, I'm sure you'll say whatever they want you to say and start believing it. Oh, they paid me that much? Yeah, I believe it now. That's what this clown has done. He's not a good person. Let's look and see what else. Hypocrisy in advocating for women's rights while facing allegations of manipulating women. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. All this women's rights stuff he's talking about. It's just healthcare that everybody should have, right, Harry? I just love women. Vote for Kamala. Why? Because she's a strong black woman. Yay! That's what he was all about. Harry was all up on that. Sisson frequently positioned himself as a champion for women and LGBTQ rights. Not a surprise. However, in March 2025, Republican activist Sarah Fields exposed allegations from at least 11 women claiming he lied about being exclusive, manipulating them, and sending explicit Snapchat photos, and gaslit them when confronted, calling them insane or pressuring them to claim photos were fake. What? Pressuring women? According to Democrats, that's SA. You can't pressure women to do stuff. Pressuring them to do stuff or not to do stuff. It's all SA. You SA'd her mind, dude. You mangled her mind, man. These dudes is so soft, and then behind the scenes, they doing the same thing the red pill dudes is doing. Tell me when I lied about that. They doing the same thing the red pill dudes are doing. Sleeping with multiple, at least the red pill dudes are honest about it. He's over here telling you, respect women. And then behind the scenes, he's playing women against each other, choosing the hottest one, sleeping with her, passing her to the side, sleeping with another one, passing her to the side, sleeping with another one, and whispering in her ear, man, I'm voting for your rights, man. Every one of these male feminists, see, now I gotta talk. Every one of these male feminists, every single one is fake. From Destiny, who was sleeping with multiple women, and younger women too, to Hassan, to Harry Sisson, to all his friends, they're all fake. They have no morals on their standards. Where did they get their morals and standards from? Tell me, please. These are the same dudes who can't tell a man from a woman. And they want to tell you how you should think and how you should be a man. How? We're taking advice from this little pipsqueak? Really? That's what we finna do? Who in the Democrat Party thinks that this man is somebody who's going to be followed by a man like me? Who? This is why y'all losing the young man's vote. They rather go to us mustache man supporter than this dude. And it's not because they're stupid, it's because y'all not giving them anything to look to. Harry Sisson? Are you serious? He's supposed to tell you what a man is? Okay. All right. Screenshots and victim statements went viral, with critics calling it predatory behavior, contradicting his feminist branding. Oh no! Sisson has not publicly addressed the claims in detail, and some platforms allegedly suppressed related content. So, the same thing that they claim that Donald Trump does. Oh, he's touching women and he's grabbing them by the PUSSY. He's grabbing them by the PUSSY. Dude, did you hear what he said? Dude. And they have all this to say about Trump, and he's doing the same exact thing behind the scenes. He has not publicly addressed any of this crap. He hasn't come out and said by name to the girls that he's sorry. None of this stuff. And guess what? I would say don't believe the women because they just making it up for clout, but they're the party of hashtag believe all women. They're that party. So do we believe them or not? According to Democrats, whatever a woman says is true. And y'all want to tell me that Louder Crowder was bad for yelling at his wife, for not listening to him to take the dogs for a walk, but this dude is A-okay for manipulating multiple women behind the scenes, using his clout to sleep around. He's okay. That's all right with us. But Louder Crowder can't even hold his wife, who he married, to any standard. That's cool. How does this make sense? All right. Questionable background and authenticity. As an average American, he is not. He was born in Singapore. Raised in Ireland. With time in Dubai. So he just going from rich country to rich country. He going to all the thought spots. That's where he was raised. Everywhere where you take an Instagram model to be pooped on. That's where he's been. Singapore, Ireland, Dubai. Holding dual Irish USA citizenship. Sisson moved from the US at 17 and attends NYU. Reports describe him as coming from wealth, yet he portrays himself as a relatable to everyday young Americans. Whatever, dude. This dude got born with a silver spoon, going to these fancy restaurants, never had a day of struggle in his life, and he's telling you how you should be a man. He's not, and I can tell, look in his eyes and tell he ain't never had to fight nobody. He ain't never had to do nobody no harm. Probably never had to shoot a gun. This type of dude is like a despicable little peon. When next to a real man, this is why he don't do any live debates. He would never do a live debate. They only do debates where they can control the mute button. Him and his little friends, his little group of 4, zesty men. They were, I should have found that video where they're all standing around looking as gay as can be, like shoulder to shoulder with each other, and they all were we're so cool. It was like the cringiest video ever. And they were like the Democrats, 4 men, like they looking like the zesty Ninja Turtles all standing together. And this is who the Democrats want you to be like. And they don't know why they're losing. They can't fathom why they're losing. A 2024 press report confirms that he wasn't a USA citizen and couldn't vote, fueling the deport Harry Sisson trends. Additional ties include working with Camille Marin, accused of grooming a minor, whom Sisson allegedly continues to associating with, despite knowing the accusations or allegations. Critiques argue that this foreign rich kid background undermines his anti-Trump, pro-working class rhetoric. Absolutely it does. Because Trump is rich, but he worked for his wealth. He wasn't just given a platform. He actually is an asset. He wrote books. He made his company millions, if not billions of dollars. One of the things that we like that how he runs the government is he runs it like a business. He cuts the fat out. Anybody who's just trying to manipulate the American people and take their tax money and run away with it, Trump is out to get you, and they hate that. That's why they tried to get rid of him so many times, including an assassination attempt. All them billions of dollars that they thought was going under the table because they can spend it with nobody holding them accountable. Trump held people accountable, and they hated that. And now this zesty boy is trying to come tell you, nope, you're not a real man if you don't vote the way I say you should. Why don't you be like me with my millions of dollars taking my girlfriend out to eat? Why don't you just be like me at this restaurant you couldn't possibly afford? Be like me. People think it's cool when they flex on people like that, but the modern working man, the man that's not living a life like you, is looking at you and asking, why do you get to have that? And you haven't done anything, you have no talent, you haven't worked hard a day in your life, and I gotta work hard, and you're telling me to pay more and more taxes to the Democrat Party? You telling me to get more and more of my rights? You telling me that my freedom of speech is gonna be stifled again? While you on here going to restaurants with your 17 different girlfriends behind the scenes that you got off a clout from the Democrat Party, paying you millions and millions of dollars to do these little zesty videos. And I'm supposed to continue being a working man, a welder, a contractor, um, a, a HVAC worker. I'm supposed to do these things and be like you? The people aren't that easily fooled, man. They are really not that easily fooled. So what do we have next here? Let's see. I want to talk about this man right here. Baltimore Mayor Scott. You see his zesty look in his eyes right there. He looked like he gets something done and let me not talk too crazy. He looked like his girlfriend, if he does have one, wears extra equipment while being in the bed with him, if you know what I mean. And we're going to see what he has to say because it's worse than you think. For a specific reason here. Let's look at this real quick. Right.
It is really on my heart this morning to say that as a man, but more importantly as a black man, that this country does not deserve black women or black people, but specifically black women. It is really on my heart this morning to say that as a man, but more importantly as a black man, that this country does not deserve black women or black people, but specifically black women.
But specifically, black women. I mean, think about what this man has said. I could go off right now. Should I turn the other cheek, as the man said? No, I won't. I hate these simps. Maybe God need to change my heart. I disliked with a strong resolve. I hate simps, dude. I hate when two people try to placate. I hate when people try to spin something. I hate when people try to push some rhetoric where they have a hidden agenda because they know women are going to soak it up. What is he talking about? He's saying that knowing that black women everywhere, after they get done putting on their weaves in the morning, gonna jump up and down and say, "Oh my God, girl! Oh my God! He on our side, girl! It's somebody fighting for us." That's what they hope to get when they say these vain platitudes, these empty words. They simp for women because they know it works. This dude is soft, man. Let's see what is it we in the community, in the black community, which black culture is disgusting. Let's just be honest. Black culture is nothing to write home about right now. It's a cesspool of degeneracy to the highest degree. There's very few things in the black culture right now that I'm proud of. I'm proud of things in the past. For sure I am. But nothing right now. Let's look at these so-called beings, these angelic beings that we don't deserve. Let's take a look at them. Oh, Is that not a swamp donkey, a monkey mouth, if I ever saw one? From one of my favorite creators, Tommy Sotomayor. This is the type of women that we don't deserve, y'all. And Tommy says, have y'all ever noticed how black women love saying they age better than white women? And they do say that all the time. As if white women have ever challenged them on this. Notice they never talk about white men, though, nor the mixed kids they go out of the way to make with white men. Truth is, black women have one-sided beef with white women. They hate white women, but love white men. Think about it. You never heard black women dissing white men for aging, or for having small peen, or for having no rhythm, or cultural appropriation. They only hate white women. That's kind of made me think. I was wondering if that's true, but it is a lot of jealousy there, dude. It's a lot of jealousy, and I know because me being married to a white woman, as I did not think this was the case, dude. I did not think it was the case at first. Because I was like, nah, man, everybody got their own preferences. And then when I married a white woman who she was better looking than most, and we would walk somewhere and the looks that I would get were not from black dudes, were not from other white women. It was from black women. They hated it. I even had a girl come and approach me, and she said to me straight up, she was like, I just gotta ask, when I see a good black man like you, why is it y'all be going to the white women like that? Why can't you find yourself a beautiful black woman like that? That's what she said. Knowing I was married. The audacity to come and ask me that. Knowing she haven't seen my wife, knowing I was married, and still ask me, why can't you find a black woman? I've never heard any of my friends get asked that by a white person. I know a couple white people that was married to black people. Never once has a white woman come and ask them, why couldn't you find a good white woman? I've never heard that. So I kind of got to thinking, I was like, dude, is there some jealousy here? Maybe he's on to something. Because why is it our women do things that are not of our culture? They're not of our people. For instance, you don't see white people wearing big afro wigs. You don't see their women putting on a big afro wig and wearing it around every day, ashamed of how their hair look. A big curly black afro wig. But you do see every fourth girl in the black group wearing a big blonde wig. Why? No one can explain that to me. They just don't want you to ask. They don't want you to ask about that. Why is it that every fourth girl you see, whether it be in the hood or in high school or anything, is wearing a big, long, blonde wig? Why? That's not weird to y'all? We can't even ask why? No man finds that attractive. They're doing it because something going on in their head. They're competing in their head. What is that? So, let me show you some of the beautiful women in our community. And this is, tell me when I'm lying, if this is typical behavior that you see in the hood. Tell me. Oh, that copyright gonna get, let me see. This. Look at them. They happy. They fine, y'all. Ooh, and she ate. She sure did eat. Before and after. Look, you can't tell them. Look, come on now. This is what we got to look forward to in our community. Come on, man. And I'm not even trying to hate on girls having fun. Girls just wanna have fun. I'm not just trying to hate on girls, but you want to tell me there's not one of them that's in shape? Do you see? Is there a wedding ring on any of their fingers? This is what we got to look forward to. Every one of them look like they could be 250 pounds or more. Every one. This, if you know that men's main thing is a physical attraction, this is the average woman in the hood. It is. This. This is them. You can't tell them not. And here's the other thing. It's not just being big. It's the attitude that I'm big and you better accept it. I'm not doing anything to change it. You better not say nothing. You better not look down on it. You must be attracted to it. Somebody like it. That attitude is what makes it 10 times more disgusting. If you was a big woman because you was married and you had some children and you had trouble taking the weight off, that's one thing. Or even if you was pleasant to be around, if you had a good attitude, that'd be another thing. But be big, obnoxious, and proud of all these bad, negative attributes? How is that a good thing? This is what they're saying is the best of the best. That America doesn't deserve. This is what he said.
Women. It is really on my heart this morning to say that as a man, but more importantly as a black man, that this country does not deserve black women.
That's what he said. He surely said that. That's what he said. That's what he said. This is who he's talking about. This right here. And we have no shame in our community. Everybody's loud. Everybody's obnoxious. Everybody's twerking. Everybody's proud of what they got. Can't change nothing. If you don't like it, that's on you. Attitude. This is our culture. And here's another thing that segues into what we will be talking about is this culture affects everyone. This culture is being used as a test on the black community. But make no mistake, the white community is falling for it too. It's just taking them longer to fall. The stupid stuff going on in the black community is like a testing ground. They're trying that same dumb stuff on the white community as well. Look at these facts here. OkCupid, 2009 to 2014. Black women receive the fewest messages and the lowest ratings from non-black men. 82% of non-black men show bias against them. Why is that? Are all men wrong? Are all men wrong? Some stupid liberal is going to say, yep, all men are wrong. It just shows the patriarchy and dumb stuff and dumb more stuff. Here's the problem with y'all. My mom used to say, you're the common denominator. If one person don't like you, understandable. Two people don't like you, understandable. Three people don't like you, But if everybody says you're the problem, you're the problem. Everybody can't agree, and then you say, oh, it's all their fault. No, it's your fault. Similar patterns on Tinder and other apps. Black women are liked in messages least overall. Why is that? People say it's because of white beauty standards. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a lie. I guarantee you right now, you get a fit black woman. She could be from a different culture, just not American culture. She could have a nice afro, no fake hair in her head, no makeup, and she could be nice and fit. And if she's pleasant and she is known for being pleasant, she will be married before any one of these American girls. White, black, Asian, doesn't matter. It's because American women are spoiled. It's not about your skin color or beauty standards. If that was the case, beauty standards, why does Asian women have no problem getting married to white men? Or black men for that matter. If it's about beauty standards, what's wrong with it? The Asian women don't have white beauty standards. They have black hair, black eyes, different shaped eyes, different shaped lips, different body types. Don't try to lie and say it's white people beauty standard. No, Asian women are highly sought after. Stereotypes of black women as angry and aggressive. How funny that it says stereotypes. Or masculine. The angry black woman trope from media and reality TV deters men who fear confrontation or black women as less feminine and submissive. They just are. Our culture encourages them to be that. They don't have to be that. They can change. By the grace of God, they can change. But as of now, the culture encourages them to be. I wish I could play to you guys some snippet from a song without being destroyed on YouTube. But every single black female song is about how, ooh, and yeah, I made him give me head, girl. I pushed his head down, and I said, ooh. And while he did it, I said, ooh. I looked in his eyes, and then I said, ooh. That's how the rap songs go. And then after that, I left him at the house and threw some money at him, told him, buy what you want. That's how the songs go. Tell me that's not masculine. Survey shows 47% of people associate black women with anger and aggression. Or are they all wrong? Speed dating experiments. Women exhibit stronger same race preferences, but men penalize perceived difficulty. Uh-oh. Women are the ones. Black women are the ones who want black men. Black men can go anywhere. Uh-oh, they don't like when you say that. They don't like when you say that because that truth hurts. Ooh, it hurts, it stings, it burns. Black men are highly sought after wherever we go. I heard some of my friends go to Germany and tell me stories about that. I heard some of my friends go to Colombia and tell me stories about that. I heard some of my friends go to Sweden and tell me stories about that. And the women, wherever they go, love them. You could say, oh, it's just because they're poor. No, Germany is not poor. Sweden is not poor. Nope. They went to Russia and the Russians loved them. It is not the problem with black men. When are y'all going to understand that? The problem is not with black men. The only problem we have with black men are the ones raised by single mothers, which is 70%. So we still talking about a problem of the full culture, but I'm saying I believe in the black community, the main problem is that we have a matriarchy and we do not address the women's problems whatsoever. If you thought it was bad in the white community, wait till you come to the black community. Say something about black women that they can correct. You will be ran up out of there if you don't get beat up and shot first. You will be labeled a coon. I love being a coon, shucking and jiving to the moon. They will call you every name in the book if you tell them the smallest thing they could possibly correct. You will be ran out of town for saying that. Don't believe me, just watch. Go ahead and do it. I dare you go into a group of black women and say, you know what? If black women just stop wearing weaves, men would like that so much more. What? Who is you with your bald head, with your ugly nappy beard, with your this and that, and your and you fat and you ugly and you smell like watch. Just try it. At any point, if you don't believe what I say, go to the hood and please try it. Say it as nice as possible. Correct your tone and say it. Say it with a great tone. Since white people love saying, liberal whites love saying, it's your tone. Liberal white women love saying it. It's the tone you said it. Go to the black community and say it with a nice tone. Say, you know what, excuse me, ladies, but I really believe that you guys have beautiful natural hair. I believe that it's the hair that God gave you. And that you're hiding your beauty by wearing those weaves. And I think if all the black women would get together and just promote natural beauty and not wear weaves again, that you could actually enhance your actual beauty and learn to accept yourself for who you are. What? Who is you? This nigga think he my daddy. I ain't seen my daddy since I was 3 years old. You ain't my daddy. Y'all know I'm not lying. You ain't my daddy. Black women marry out far less than black men. I am an example of that. Or other groups limiting partnerships, non-black men rarely pursue them, while black men often prefer non-black women. That's sad, but it's true. This is facts. I'm just reading. Can I read, please? Without you interrupting me, can I read? All right. Black white parents, 7% of black man white women versus 3%. Dang, I make up only 7%. 7 versus white women, 3% of black woman white man. Overall, black woman least likely to intermarry, 7 to 12%. Demographic and educational mismatches. Black women earn degrees at a higher rate than black men. What are they degrees in? Basket weaving, probably. But often seek similar status partners. Incarceration, unemployment, and interracial preferences reduce available black men. Whoops, I guess you can't get what you want now, can you? Non-black men undervalue black women's achievements. What? Well, that's some nonsense that Grok messed up. Black women, 60% of black bachelor's degrees, marriage rates 31% versus 48% national college educated black women face marriage market shortages due to fewer comparable black men. How about you build with your man then? Stop looking for Pookie and Ray Ray to get up to your level and actually build with a man. I shouldn't have to build a man up. Okay, well, you can't build with nobody else because nobody else wants you. You got to take what you can get now, don't you? Reality is harsh, but facing reality is the best way to grow and the fastest way to grow. I'm not saying except some lame thug dude. That's not the problem. The actual problem is most of the women in the black community are going for Pookie and Ray Ray instead of Jason and John. And I'm not talking about white names. I'm talking about regular black men who have regular jobs are going skipped over. They looked at as lame. They looked at as, well, he work a regular job. He in an office. They do not like that in our community. There are songs, and tell me if I'm lying, that says if you work a 9 to 5, you can't get this PUSSY. I just saw that today. I wish I would have took a screenshot because some people be acting like you're lying when you point this stuff out. There are songs right now out there that say if you work a 9 to 5, this PUSSY is not for you. What does that tell the hardworking black man? He might as well go for a white woman because white women don't say stupid stuff like that. Skipping ahead a little bit. So what does this say to what women are struggling with in society as a whole? Because it's not just black women. I'm not just gonna pick just on them. I'll pick on everybody. Last week we talked about the evils of suburban white men. Before that, we talked about the ignorant thug community and how these idiot thug men can't control their anger, acting like little women. Before that, we talked about illegal immigrants. We talk about everybody. I am going to talk more about my community because I specialize in that. I care about my community. Even though I'm a coon, right? I care about my community. So I could care less what people tell you to talk about. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. Let's see here. Come on, baby. All right. What is this young lady talking about here?
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s.
Look at this. Okay, hold on. We're going to have to pause this because I see that this young lady needs some help. She says she has to go out and get a roster, meaning she has to date multiple men at once. She has to. She doesn't have an option. She's being forced to. And she says it's easy for men. Let's continue on here.
And live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how the fuck to get back in these fucking streets so I can figure out, so 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy.
All right, I'm going to have to here. Hold on. Why not do things God's way? Why is that so hard? People act like, oh, this life is so stressful. I have to get a roster so I'm not single and on OnlyFans and this. It's plenty of single men at your local church. Not even necessarily local. Let's say you got to branch out to find it. Find a good, godly, Bible-believing church where men are active in their church family. That's not hard to do. It's not hard. It's because your standards are on worldly things. Your mind is earthly and not on the things above. The reason why godly women will choose a man and their marriages will last is because they choose on things like good character, integrity, good fathers, being a strong leader. You choose on things like he must be 6'5", he has to be making $120,000 a year, he has to be working as a CEO, he can't just be a That's what you choose on. There's good men all around. You don't want those men. I know because I come in contact and I mentor those type of men every day. They are passed over all the time. And sometimes I'm always constantly telling them what they can do to be better. I'm constantly telling them, you know what, man? When I was your age, I used to be in the gym constantly every day, wouldn't miss a day, lifting weights, eating right, whether you got to be on a keto diet, which I'm on right now. Get on the keto diet, lose some weight, lift some weights, look muscular, dress in some clothes that fit you, man. Dress your age. So if you 24, start dressing not like you 18 anymore. Dress like you're 24. If you're 34, dress like you're 34. Dress like a man that carries himself. Look at the men you respect, whether it be in the movies or I tell them all these things and put together. I say, even come to people who dress nice that you want to look like and ask them where do they shop at, where do they get their clothes. Men will share information with you. They will be open with you. They'll say, hey man, those shoes ain't right. Tell them that you want their advice. We give men all these critiques. I give my guys who come to me all these critiques. And sometimes you got to sit back and say, the market is trash. Not the men, the women. Their date. What real guy, a man with integrity is gonna want to date you if you have a roster?
Like, I want all of these things, but people don't want that nowadays. It feels like no matter, it's like, what is this dating stuff? What is Hinge? What is Tinder? What is all of this? Like, it's disgusting. Like, my friends helped me make a Hinge and a Tinder, and it's like, I hated it. I ended up deleting my Hinge, and I'm getting ready to delete the Tinder because it's just like I don't want to talk to anybody on there. Like, I don't want to do any of this. Like I'm just sitting there like a magazine going through like clothing. That's what it feels like. And it's like, I don't want that. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that at all. Guys are so...
All right. And my question to the young lady would be, where's your father at? Why is he not helping you choose a mate? Your father? What church are you involved in? Why are they not helping you? The church and your family are the two main groups, bodies, powers, entities you should use to choose a good man. You trying to do it on your own, and you don't have the wisdom or the knowledge to do it on your own. You may find a man, and maybe you find him without your father's help. You need to have him properly vetted by your father and the church. Absolutely wouldn't even date somebody without doing that. And if they say no, get him up out of here, you need to trust them enough to where you get him up out of there. No matter how much you like how he look or how he act. Trust their leadership. Part of the problem with these young women, they don't know anything. And then they go out, put themselves in dumb situations, have a roster of men that they're probably sleeping with, and then wonder why they can't find a good man. A good man can sniff out if you got a roster or not. He knows when he asks you, hey, you know what? This date was good on Tuesday. You want to go out again on Thursday? No, I kind of have another day. Because women love bragging about that stuff because they think it makes them look even more attractive. When it actually makes them look like whores, and men will straight up shoo you away and be like, ugh, I don't like her. We don't like girls with rosters. That's gross. Secondly, a video like this, you look unhinged. No man is going to look at this type of behavior where you crying and screaming at the camera and say, that's a girl I want to be with. Look at her demeanor. Just look at her demeanor.
So lucky you guys do a roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s and live a normal...
Think about this. When men see that, we think, how is that attitude going to be towards us? She's unhinged in a car by herself when she's not getting her way. What's it going to be like when I got to work late and she's feeling lonely and she's on her period and she doesn't like how I load the dishwasher, or she doesn't like that I got to go to work in early tomorrow? Is this the attitude I'm going to get? Nobody want to hear that goofy crap. A real man will be like, calm yourself down. Who is you talking to? That's what a real man would do. A real man ain't gonna let you cuss him out. He ain't gonna let you get in his face. You gotta stop and be careful about what you're putting on the internet, because men see this and it's not giving off the same thing you think it is. You think women will feel sorry for you. Men gonna be like, she's unhinged. That's what we're gonna think. Yet another one.
Hinge X, and I literally ran out of people on day one. I paid for whatever the most expensive Hinge membership is. I did 1 week, and I'm pretty sure it's Hinge X, but whatever the $25 a week one is, I paid for 1 week. I ran out of people in 1 day. I have only had the membership for 1 day, and it's already saying, oops, we're out of people. Change your parameters. You know what my parameters are? My parameters are 6'2" and above.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Now I gotta pull up Gork and see. Hold on. Let's just see what this woman is talking about here. What percentage of men are 6'2" Oh, well, I gotta put or taller in, what is it, California? We're gonna see, because she gets some other stipulations too. Well, let's see what other stipulations she put before we even go into that.
Anywhere between age 29 and 34. And then I bumped it up to 35, ran out of people again.
29 to 35. Let's see. California. Age 29. Let's see. There you have it, folks. Approximately 3 to 4% of men age 29 to 35 in California are 6'2" or taller. This estimate is based on the height data from the CDC's National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Blah, blah, blah. They're giving all these. And you know, let's do that. Add in that. Well, I cannot type. Oh my gosh. They must make over 100. Let's see, because in California, let's see. Hey. All right, what percentage would that be? All right, because you know she ain't taking no dude who make no 35,000. All right, so this is a real percentage. Let's just be for real about that. 0.25. 0.25. That's just being real and being honest. And she ain't gonna tell you that. Okay, let her finish her little spiel. Let's let her finish her little spiel.
How is there no one between the ages of 29 and 35, 6'2" and above in LA? This is one of the biggest cities ever. I don't know if I'm just not attracted to the people that they're showing me. Like, they weren't cute. They weren't cute. I'm going to be so...
All right, I got to stop it there. She says they weren't cute. She's an average looking female. I'm not being mean. She's average. Look, she's not a movie star. She's average. She's not super gorgeous. She's average. She don't look extremely curvy. She's average. This is an average female. I have to keep nailing that in, because some of you simp dudes who ain't never seen, don't go outside and don't see women, be like, dude, she's hot. She's an average female. She's telling you the dudes that she did match with, they're ugly. No, they're on your level. They're on your level. If you can't get the dudes you want, then only the dudes you can get are on your level. Do you understand that? Only the men you can get are on your level. Stop saying all these dudes that I match with is ugly. That must mean you're ugly. If you can't get the dudes you want and you can only get an ugly dude, then that means you're ugly. And I'm not even saying this young lady is ugly. I'm saying too many women have such big heads, they don't understand that you're average. I don't know who got your head so big to where you can't go for average, man. The next man you do, every girl out there who's in the sound of my voice, it's a good chance you're average. If you are average, you need to look around outside as soon as you step outside in a popular place, whether it be a mall or some place where it's super populated, and you should look and see, oh, that dude looks okay. That's for you. That type of dude that looks okay, that's for you. You don't get no Brad Pitt. Too many women got such big heads that they think they are above everybody. You're not above anybody. You're average. You get an average man.
34. And then I bumped it up to 35, ran out of people again. How is there no one between the ages of 29 and 35, 6'2" and above in LA? This is one of the biggest cities ever. I don't know if I'm just not attracted to the people that they're showing.
No, you had it right. Not as attractive as you think. And you're in LA, lady. In LA is the most competitive market there is. Beautiful women come to LA to be movie stars. They come to be actors. They come to be Instagram models, and they come to mingle with everybody who is somebody. The finest of the finest go to places like Miami and LA. You're average and you're going there. What's going to happen to an average woman when she's swallowed up in the sea of some place like LA and still asking for a 6'2" and above man? The average man's height is 5'8", and you're asking for far above that. Why do you deserve this? What do you bring that's so great? Dang, men got it bad. I'm so happy I'm married. These women is wild out here.
Me, like, they weren't cute. I'm gonna be so honest, but I tried to give a few people a chance. I think I sent maybe 2 or 3 likes out of everyone, and I've already ran out of people. It's day 1. I keep going back to the app. There's no more people. How?
They think, she really thinks that the world is doing her wrong for not putting a Brad Pitt right on her doorstep. And not just any Brad Pitt, a Brad Pitt in his late 20s that's making Brad Pitt money. This is why marriage is going downhill. Women need to address this. Instead of talking about what all these TPOS say women want to talk about, they need to address the audacity that modern women have. They have such an audacity to expect the type of results that even Holly Berry could, a young Holly Berry couldn't ask for. These women, they think they the finest of the finest. Who's telling them this? Social media is. When you get on social media and all your girls say, you're slay, babe, you're so hot, fire emojis, love emojis, oh my gosh, you're winning, I wish I could look like you. That's all women do. It's modern women, not Christian women. I hope not. All they do is lie to each other, dude. I was telling my wife the other day, one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of women around me, because they lie too much. I see it all the time. I like when I can talk to somebody, they authentic with me and they keep it real. I don't want nobody telling me, you're a king, slay. Oh my gosh, you're so great all the time. I want people to keep it real. I have never seen, especially a secular Christian group that keeps it real. Even the Christians is kind of hard to get them to hold each other accountable. But a secular women's group, never. They lie constantly. They lie so much that as soon as the girl leave the table, they already talking bad about her. Y'all know I'm not lying. You go out to eat with them, and it'd be a whole bunch of, especially when I was younger, when I was like young in my mid-20s, we would go out to eat with a bunch of girls, and the girls would be around, and the dudes would be there, and they would talk bad as soon as the girl got up and left the table. Dudes do not do that. They can't keep it real with themselves. That's why they think they so hot. You ain't that hot. I thought this pastor, now I don't know all his theology, but I thought this pastor did a good job in breaking down some of the things that the culture and society, especially American suburban society, is not talking about in marriage. I thought he did a great job. I don't know what the rest of his theology is. I got to look into it. But he did a pretty good job breaking this down, at least. Let's see what he has to say. Oop.
Friends. A woman of God chooses godly friends. And her friends encourage the marriage. Her friends encourage her to honor her husband. Her friends are speaking life, blessing. Sometimes they're correcting her in a way that helps, uplifts, blesses the marriage, and honors her husband. Here's what you do not need. You do not need a bunch of wind down Wednesday friends who are just going to tell you whatever you want to hear and affirm every feeling that you have. You don't need that. That's a great way actually to destroy your life, marriage, and legacy. That's a great way to do it. The ladies, this is what you need. This is what you need. All right, now, let me ask this question. You tell me out loud, and anybody can answer. Where do you find godly women you could be friends with? Where are you going to find people like that? Church. Good job, church. Okay. Now, let me point something out to you. Ladies, I love you so much, just gently. A lot of you are really terrible at making friends.
Here, I'm going to say, this is why what he's saying is true. Women have the propensity to be very, very cliquish. One of the reasons why I love my wife and how she goes about doing things is she's not a big group person, but she will call somebody to go out with her to coffee one-on-one and really get to know them. And I get really mad on her behalf when people do not go out with, like, especially at church, if we got somebody new and they constantly keep dodging her because they don't want accountability. She will come out, she'll listen to all your issues. She's a good listener. She'll just be quiet and go take you out to coffee and she'll buy you coffee and just listen. She don't make like a bunch of judgments. She don't be trying to preach at you. She just listen. A lot of women cannot do that. They're not authentic enough. They don't have solutions to problems. They just want to do superficial, goofy stuff. They get together and do a Bible study. They don't do any introspection. They do not dig deep into the Word of God to see what the Word of God is saying to them. They can't use it to correct each other because they don't want somebody else to get mad. They're terrible friends. Absolutely dog crap friends. They don't hold each other accountable at all. It's like pulling teeth to get them to hold each other accountable. And the moment they do, the other girl cry and everybody got to comfort her. The one girl could be treating her husband like absolute garbage. And the other girls feel like they can't say nothing because she won't be their friend if she do. They don't hold her accountable. One girl will be talking about all this spiritual gobbledygook that's over spiritualizing every situation and talking about she heard the voice of the Lord and be dead wrong. And the other girls will say, yes, yeah. Knowing she lying. I don't get it, man. They do this, and this goes to show you, like, this is why I think a lot of them not called to teach. Not a lot. Most. And none of them is called to be pastors. It's really hard for women to hold each other accountable. Really hard. They still should do it.
When you're dating, you need to pay attention. Is the girl that you're dating, is she naturally submissive to the God-given authority structures in her life? To healthy authority? Is she natural? Does she honor her parents? The God-given authority at her work, does she naturally honor and submit to those authorities? Because if she's real quarrelsome and she has this attitude of nobody tells me what to do, nobody's in control of me, I follow the Spirit of God. This is what Christian manipulative girls do. I don't follow you, I follow the Spirit of God. Okay? Now, yes, we always Jesus above human authorities, but in healthy situations, the Spirit of God will lead you to submit to the authority structures God's put in place. And if she's got a quarrelsome spirit, watch out, because someday you become the authority structure and she's going to do that to you. Yep. So this is what it's saying right here. Let me read another verse. Proverbs 21:19. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Better to die and have your eyes plucked out of your eye sockets by buzzards. Bible verse.
I agree with him. I agree with him. You want to know the first step you can take to finding a godly woman that's ready for marriage? Ask her about her relationship with her father. Actually look at her with a relationship with her father. Go to places where you can see her interact with her father. Or her whatever godly male masculine authority she has. Grandfather. Men in her church. See how she interacts with them. And you say, what if she ain't got no father? Then you get the black community. That's what. When women have no father, that's how they turn out. Twerking on top of cars. That's what happens. Honestly, I was so strict that I'm telling you, I would not date a girl if she didn't have a father. Now, it's some good women out there, and somebody gonna say, oh, that's not right. Well, my preferences are my preferences. According to secularists anyway, right? It's so important to me that a woman has a good relationship with her father that I wouldn't dare date a girl that didn't have a father. Now, I was going to say that doesn't mean that it's not some girls that didn't have somebody step in like a grandfather or something like that, but that's very rare. It's a hard hurdle to overcome not having a father or male role model in your life. A good one at that. Because you can have an abusive father and have issues from that. If you really want to see the first step to if you should marry a woman, how does she treat her father? This is why so many black women are not married. To go back to a previous point. How are you going to respect a man to lead you and you've never seen that? You don't even know what it looks like? Everything comes off as disrespect if you never had a father to show you what respect is. Do y'all understand that? Everything will come off as disrespectful. Just saying no will seem abusive when you don't have a father. Tell me if I lied about that. Even just saying no to somebody who has never heard no before will sound abusive and controlling if you don't have a father to put those boundaries in place. That's a fact. I'm running to boys all the time who ain't got no father, and you tell them, hey, no, you can't do that. Well, who is you to tell me? And they'll be like 12 years old. That rebellion comes from no boundaries, no father, nobody ever grabbing them up saying, you better not do that. That's why we have such a problem. The last thing goes into what is the full results of not having a father. What happens to a young women when they ain't got no fathers in their life? Well, we're going to see the result of that in the next clip. The caption says, OF model. I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. OF model Camelia Aurel was shocked when two kids approached her saying they knew her from OnlyFans while she was with Neon. Now, I want y'all to pay attention how young these little boys are. Pay attention.
It's Gideon! I feel like I actually know who that is.
Who?
Isn't that the girl that does OnlyFans?
Oh my gosh. She's...
None of that! You should not know that.
My bad. None of that. How the fuck? Where are your parents? You should be watching Blippi. None of that. Yeah. How old do you think I am? I don't fucking know. Too fucking young.
How old do you think I am? I don't effing know. Too effing young. But not young enough for you to not stop dropping the F-bombs in front of them. They think this is funny. These OnlyFans models think this is funny. They think, and I get so mad when I think about this. These OnlyFans models think it's funny. They think it's fun that they got your little boys, the boys you love, the boys you're raising at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, when they first start learning about sexuality, 12, 13, when they first start going through puberty. They got them hooked at that age to look at them as they stiff and stick things into their body. Stick things into their whole unholy holes. And they let your little boys watch. They think it's funny. They know it's happening. They don't care. If they knew today that 70% of their audience and 70% of their money was coming from kids and children under 18, they would not stop. They don't care. They're evil. They're the scum of the earth. OnlyFans models, just because they want to say it's e-prostitution, I don't care what you call it. You're the scum of the earth. To know that little boys are what. Here's things. People would say, and this is how you know that even the evil man is a lot better than these OnlyFans women. Men have told me, because we work with a lot of these men at my church who came from drug-riddled lifestyles. They will tell me, you know what made me stop selling drugs? When a 12-year-old came and tried to buy some crack from me. You know what made me stop selling drugs is when, a little girl, I sold crack and the mother was buying it with the little baby's milk money. You know what made me stop selling heroin is when a mom was passed out and the little baby was crying and couldn't wake her mom up. They would tell me stories like that. These OnlyFans girls know little boys is watching their content and they don't care. They will not stop. They don't care. A boy could come to them and say, I know you. I've seen your content. It's highly affected me. They will not stop. These people are evil. They don't care how much it affects society. They only care about what it affects with them. These little boys, where are they even from? Where are their parents at? That's a good question, but the reality is reality. They have seen this girl's content. Maybe they've seen some excerpts on TikTok. But even the idea that they could possibly have seen her content would, for me, make me second guess what I'm doing. If I got to tell them and ask them, why are y'all watching this? It's wrong for y'all to watch it. Maybe it's wrong for you to do it and create it. Oh, y'all shouldn't be buying these drugs. Maybe I shouldn't be selling them. These drugs is only for crackheads, not for people like you. Maybe I'm creating the crackheads. You ever thought of that? Maybe you're the one destroying society? Not asking where their parents are, but what can you do to make things better? Maybe they don't got no parents. Maybe they live with their grandmother and their grandmother don't know anything about the internet and they know way more than her. You still got to answer to God for what you contributed.
Brother,
you're too young to be a gooter.
You're done. You're done. You're done. Bye. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Who are parenting these children?
That's crazy. We'll ignore it. All right, let's move on. You can't control what kids see.
Okay, how do we do this?
She said, who are parenting these children? The same people who parented you to make you on OF. Where's their father at? Where's your father at? Where's your father when you busting it down naked, sticking bananas and cucumbers in your orifices? Where's your father at? Generations are evil because they lack the morality that can only come from God. And they always want to shift the blame. If I was talking to a group of men, I would hold them accountable for watching that type of nonsense, watching that type of filth, that degeneracy, that scum bucketness. I don't even know if that's a word. Scum bucketness. But the women need to be held accountable. I told y'all the crazy statistic that from 18 to 24 is something like 20 to 25% of all that age group is in some type of sex work. They're prostitutes. The Bible talks about in Revelations New Babylon and how it's going to be a cesspool of prostitution, land of prostitution. You sure it wasn't talking about America? Are you sure about that? New Babylon? That's a scary thought. And I would honestly say everybody will have to pay their price. Everybody will have to answer God for what they contributed to that. You're going to have to pay your price and answer to God for selling it, knowing that little kids are buying it. And the little kids' parents going to have to pay the price for allowing their kids to watch it. And the kids themselves will pay the price for watching something that they know in their heart was wrong because God put it on your conscience that that was not right. Everyone. Let me show you guys something. This ain't it. Here we go. Surprising statistics on OnlyFans harm to underage males. While OnlyFans enforces an 18 age restriction, investigations reveal widespread underage access to exploitation, particularly affecting boys through exposure to explicit content, sextortion, and mental health deterioration. Below are 5 striking statistics drawn from reports highlighting these risks. Note that direct data on OnlyFans is limited due to platform opacity, but links to broader porn ecosystems where OnlyFans dominates amplify the harms. Over 12, look at the number, 12,600 underage boys targeted in sextortion schemes fueled by platforms like OnlyFans from 2021 to 2023. Financial sextortion exploded during this period, with predators coercing boys, primarily aged 14 to 17, into sharing explicit images via social media, then extorting them, often distributing that material on paywalled sites like OnlyFans for profit. This led to at least 20 confirmed delete yourselves among victims, a 20% year-over-year spike in reports. Boys are disproportionately hit, 90% of cases, as they are less likely to report due to shame. What these idiot feminists will say, they shouldn't be ashamed. We should change the stigma. No, shame is good. The behavior is bad. Don't be stupid. 93% of teen boys exposed to pornography by high school, with OnlyFans normalizing extreme content as early as 10 years in age. The average age of first corn exposure for boys is 10, and by their teens, 93% have viewed it, often aggressive or non-consensual material hosted on sites like OnlyFans, which account for 78% of male users. This early immersion distorts sexual expectations, correlating with a 17% increase in mental distress and personality changes, including heightened aggression and relationship dissatisfaction. This is how it affects boys. Only 64 CSAM reports from OnlyFans in February 2025, despite 30 plus documented child abuse cases. Despite vows of safety, OnlyFans submitted just 64 child sexual abuse material CSAM reports to NCMEC that month, even as police records uncovered 30 plus instances of minors, including boys, exploited on the platform. Paywall hinders detection, allowing predators to traffic underage content. One investigation found the CSAM originating from OnlyFans in 10 out of 10 sampled cases, with victims as young as 5. 16-year-old boys report severe anxiety and physical symptoms from secret OnlyFans subscriptions. 16-year-old boys. All this, oh, it's not for young kids. They don't care. Oh, it's so much better than the pornography industry because women are safe. What about the boys? 16-year-olds report severe anxiety and physical symptoms from secret OnlyFans subscriptions. In counseling sessions, underage male subscribers describe vomiting from discovery fears, insomnia, and warped views of sex after accessing paid nudes, effective tied to addiction and secrecy. Broader data shows that 73% of teens, mostly boys, consume porn monthly, with OnlyFans interactive models exacerbating isolation and 43% linked to personality shifts like lowered self-esteem. They don't care about the young men. They want it to destroy them. These women are these feminist idiots. They don't care that they destroy a 15, 16, 17-year-old boy. They hope they destroy them. Do you understand? Before we really read the last point, they want to destroy your boys. This is not an accident. They know the young boys are on there. They know they'll tell them, get their dad's credit card and pay me. They don't care about the mental health or the well-being of that child. They don't care. These OnlyFans models are scum of the earth, dude. And I've always thought this, and I've always known that. Tomorrow, if they knew that 80, 90, 95% of their community that pay for their little ugly news where they stick bananas up their rear end, if they knew that they were under 18, they would still do it. None of them would stop. They're evil, society is evil, and they need to be stopped. Of course, these young boys don't know that they're not talking to actually her because they're young, they're stupid. They never even had a girlfriend. That's why they're on OnlyFans. I'm not excusing them. Their parents should know what they're doing, and they should have to answer to God, and they will answer to God for what they're doing. But let's not address the drug dealers of the whole situation. The women selling this stuff knowing that these people buying it are underage. Let's read the last point here. Missing children linked to OnlyFans content tripled from 2019 to 2020, installing vulnerable boys and girls to that end. But we talk about the boys today. NCMEC reports of missing minors in OnlyFans related exploitation rose nearly threefold in 1 year, including cases like a 17-year-old boy blackmailed into ongoing nude posts. Vulnerable boys from tough backgrounds are sucked in as participants or victims, earning quick cash, $5,000 from one video, but facing lifelong trauma, prior abuse, and recruitment of peers. And this is the best platform. These feminists act like it empowers women. It gives the power back to them. They're not prostitution workers. They're sex workers. They're doing good for society. Studies show that prostitution is actually good, and it causes people not to want to self-delete, and it causes men to not act out in anger. It's so much good to see some girl stick things up her butthole. It does so much good for society. That's what they tell you. And y'all idiots out there believing it because you idiots want to hold on to this nonsense. You'd rather be degenerate than to follow God, even if it destroys your children. Why? Why are you letting this happen, young man? Why? Why give money to these whores? You know what they're doing. You know they don't care if they ruin somebody 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10-year-old's life for the rest of their life. They don't care. They have no care. I guarantee you they don't care. I guarantee you they don't care. I put all the money I own on the fact they don't care. They do not care. They will let your little 10-year-old off himself because he's so ashamed. And they will lose no sleep over it. Only thing they'll be sad about is they'll say, oh, I lost some money. Do the next one. They do not care. And this is what's so evil about society and how it's gotten so far, is women will rather talk about the men consuming it without even a thought that some of these boys who are getting addicted to this came across this stuff by accident. I'll tell you a personal story from me. The first time I came across pornography, it wasn't in my house. It was because some boy brought something to school. And it wasn't even like the type of pornography that I was normal. Like, it was just some nude pictures of something like that. Some old stuff. And I wasn't looking for it. But I'm telling you right now, even to this day, I can still see those images. I couldn't get it out of my head because that's the first time I ever seen something like that. Then I saw the second thing. This shows how Satan is attacking a young man's mind. We were watching a movie, and it was like a Monty Python movie. Some people will know this. I don't even want to encourage people to go look for it. But this is a Monty Python movie, and all the women were running with their tops off. And that scene bothered me so much. I had never seen a nude woman before that. It bothered me so much because I couldn't understand why I was so intrigued by it. And after that, that's when I went on the internet and I was like, oh, swimsuit girls. What is this? I'm intrigued by this stuff. Down a rabbit hole of degeneracy. Satan knew, oh, he don't got to ask for it. He don't got to go look for it. We're going to push it in front of him anyway. I was only 15. That's old to be put, and this generation to be seeing some stuff like that. I had never seen nudity before that. That's how good of a household I grew up in. And to think that these OnlyFans people are pushing that on these young men, that's where my heart goes out to. Because I know the feeling of, dang, I didn't even go look for this. Now I can't get it out my head. I can't stop thinking about it. It wasn't a problem before I saw this, and it wasn't even my fault. So I feel for the young man. When I see these women and they up here, just stop looking at pornography, stupid man. You don't understand the struggle of something being pushed at you everywhere you look, and you actually like it, but you constantly have to tell yourself no. It's the equivalent of not eating for months and then somebody putting a big juicy burger everywhere you look. It's that hard. And women will say, just stop looking at it. You don't understand, lady. And I'm not making an excuse. Men, I'm going to turn to you and say this. However hard it is to fight, you need to run away from it. Get around godly men who going to hold you accountable. Do not fall into Satan's temptation. Run away. It's the only thing in the Bible that the word of God says, do not fight. Run away from sexual sin. Run. I've mentored a man who say, I was just sleeping in the bed with a girl, but we didn't do nothing. Run, you idiot. You can't fight sexual sin. Run. It's like one of the movies where the dude's like holding off the enemy and he turned back and say, run. And everybody's still looking at him and he turned back and say, run. You need to run. Is nothing you can fight, is nothing you can win. I've seen the best of the best men fall to it. You need to run away from it. I feel for you if you're going through it. We want to be a base. The Righteous Edge wants to be a place where men can come and confide in each other because we understand how hard it is. But we're not going to sit up here and give you excuses. We're going to tell you what to do. The Bible says, how can a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed according to your word. So when people be acting like these OnlyFans girls like Nala and they give them a pass, that's why I get so upset. Have you apologized to the men you led astray? Do you know what it did to their little minds? Do you know what it did to their little minds at 10-year-old when they see the stuff you was doing? You need to cry out before the Lord if you put that stuff out on the internet. Cry out before the Lord. Because that stuff can't even be taken back now. And it's probably, even though you turn your life to Christ, supposedly, even though you turn your life to Christ, as you speak, it's probably still some young boy viewing that material, getting his mind corrupted. So yeah, it's very serious to me. So I'm going to continue talking about this stuff, and I think it's despicable. And I hope you guys join me. We're gonna have another show on Friday where we're gonna try to do some different stuff for the camera so we can get some close-ups of people's faces and stuff like that. We're gonna try to have another show where people come in. In the future, I want to do some call-in shows too. But I want to have another show where we're sitting on the couch discussing some things. Especially this Friday, I'm gonna focus on black men and having us there and discussing with some of my friends who are going to come on the Righteous Edge and discuss with me. Hopefully, if they all can come through. But I'll see you guys then. Thank you for joining me. This is the Righteous Edge. I'm your boy Jack Bravo. Like, subscribe, share. Please ring the bell. I need to keep growing and to keep pushing what we're doing here. If you like what we're doing, please try to reach out and support us. Thank you guys.